We can't come here as diasporans and look at them and say, well, in English that doesn't make sense.
It's either gunshot start beat or knife pull, people get stabbed, machete, man go in his car for a cutlass, and that's it.
Light up Africa, where we shine the light. All praises to the Most High. Light of Africa.
Yes, guys. So these are some things we think that diasporans should know about Africans.
Yeah, very important, you know. It's very important to know these things.
Yeah.
You know, because we don't want misconceptions out here. So, yeah.
And the thing is, we're in Ghana, we're living in Ghana, so we're obviously not able to speak on behalf of all of Africa, and we're also not able to speak on all diasporans either, but as what he said, we don't want certain misconceptions, and we want to try to help to try to break certain narratives and to try to change certain things that people might think that they just don't know because of maybe missed like past knowledge or history or stuff like that. So let's get right into it. So the first thing is, like, Africa is not a jungle. It is absolutely not a jungle.
Yeah, we are in 2024 now, so if you don't know that Africa is not a jungle, maybe you don't know how to use a smartphone. You know what I mean? It's very obvious at this point. So it's not even,
yeah, but it's still worth mentioning, because
yeah,
at the end of the day,
mentioning.
Some people think that there aren't houses here, people don't have roads, like, you know what I mean, like, the list goes on and on. Like, there are wild animals everywhere.
But the thing sorry for cut you, but the thing is that people in the West, they think they're more advanced than Africa, but yet still we have this kind of thinking. It's kind of don't make sense. But
yeah. So number 2 is Africans refuse to disrespect elders.
Well, all of us have experiences that we can speak from. This is not, we're not speaking on behalf of everybody, as she said, but off of my experience, Africans do not argue with elders. If an elder get upset or anything, they rather to walk away than to go back and forth with an elder and stuff like that.
Right.
This is from my observation. You can
Which it's the same for me, and I think that it's very good. I think that it's really good because it maintains a certain respect. Definitely, it maintains a certain respect within like the society. So I really like that. So we can get right into number 3, and number 3 is greetings.
Yeah, people greet people over here.
Yeah.
Morning, noon, and night.
Yes.
People greet.
And also with greeting people, people care. They act, from what I see, neighbors actually care about what their neighbors are doing and what their neighbors are up to the point where even us, like, we had to kind of learn that, to not be so uptight, because we're coming from a type of culture where you kind of have to watch your surroundings. And not to say that you're not watching your surroundings here, however, like, if somebody was to randomly come up to you, like, in a big city, right, and they're like, like, what's your name, like, where do you live, what apartment are you staying, or do you have a house, or what's your family history or something, you'd be like,
how long are you staying here? What is your landlord's name?
Yeah.
Get out here for real. I'm saying get out here for real. I'm saying
stuff like that.
You'd wonder, like, is this CIA? Like, what did I do?
Are
like,
you a rapist? Are you a kidnapper? Are you,
Yeah.
So, yeah, sometimes them get real friendly.
Yeah.
And them go overboard because they don't know that this is, we've been through certain trauma.
Yeah.
And we experience certain things in our upbringing.
Yeah.
That it's weird to us to operate that way, but it's very normal here. It's very normal for them.
And then, so because of that, like, sometimes, we might be a bit standoffish, like there's a little awkwardness, right? But
Yeah.
with living and seeing how the people operate, you realize that for the most part, like people are just trying to check for you because they check for their neighbors and stuff like that. So whether or
Yeah.
not we think that it's nosy, because that's what we're used to.
Yeah, it knows it to me still, but it's just normal here.
Yeah.
And another thing with greetings is that if you know somebody and you see, for instance, you see their son or daughter all the time and you don't ask how are they doing,
Mhm.
when that person meets you somewhere they will say, oh, you don't ask of me, you don't,
Yes.
so it's like they will always ask of you and say, oh,
Yeah.
greet your family for me, greet, and in turn they want you to do the same. So if you don't, it may,
They might wonder, like, why
Why
didn't
you
you
don't
do that?
ask,
Like, they
yeah.
don't understand that that's not necessarily how we do.
it's not our norm.
It's not our norm.
Yeah,
So,
in Jamaica we greet as well,
mhm.
but it's not every time we will do the same thing.
Mhm.
No, here every single day or every time you see somebody, it's the same
Yes.
thing.
Like,
Yeah.
for example, in Jamaica, right? Like, if you have a family member, like, say you have an elder in your family and they're not doing so well, if somebody sees you on the road, they might say, oh, so how's your grandmother, or how's your mother doing, or stuff like that. But it's not like a thing where if it's not done, it's something that's kind of abnormal.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
because like even if they ask if your grandmother sick, yeah, they might
Yes.
ask very often. But if everybody is, nobody is sick, if they see you today and they ask you, if they see you tomorrow, they will maybe not ask. You know what I mean? If they see you the following day, they might not ask. But in Africa, they will ask you the same question today, tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after, and the day
Next week, next
after.
month.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so number 4, Africans speak politely. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. them
Well, we
speak
should
polite.
say really Ghanaians because like we're in Ghana and
Yeah,
the
but if you
language.
check the countries from the east,
Mhm.
their language is the same thing.
Oh, okay.
It's like African language have like the same formula.
Okay.
Where they say please before they ask your question and stuff
Oh,
like
nice,
that. So
nice.
we can generalize that one.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but Ghanaians in a way, in Ga, those are the main languages, right?
Yeah,
So
some of them.
the main languages, and they speak very polite,
Mhm.
and they always say please, they always say thank you for everything.
Yes.
Almost every sentence is, oh, please this, please that, thank you this, thank you that, you're welcome.
Like even to tell you no. Like if you go into a shop and you're asking for whatever you're asking for and they don't have it, they won't just say no, we don't have it. They will say please no. Like
or no please.
or no please. That's just the way how they speak, and we have to respect it. We can't
Yeah.
come here as diasporans and look at them and say, well, in English that doesn't make sense, because at the end of
Yeah.
the day, Africa is Africa, and we can't go to China and tell the Chinese how to speak. Or when we translate Cantonese or Mandarin to English and it doesn't come out right, we cannot say it's incorrect. We can't go to France, you know what I mean? We cannot we can't tell the French that when you translate the French to English, it is no longer correct. We have to
Yeah.
respect people.
You can't
So
dictate people language.
we also have to respect how the people speak. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same, because I go through the same thing. In Jamaica, we say new brand instead of brand
Brand
new.
new.
And I had to break myself out of that, And it's not good to just tell people, oh, this is wrong and it is not wrong. This is just how the people speak here,
Mhm.
So
You don't have to come here and speak
you don't-
that way.
Yeah,
You don't have to. We're not saying that, but respect it. Respect it, because that's how they are. So we can jump right into number 5, and it is Africans are extremely loving. They're a loving set of people. I think Africans on the continent and off the continent are loving and welcoming.
welcome.
Maybe we're a little bit too welcoming because
Yeah.
we got sent away, but yeah.
Yeah, very loving, very welcoming, very hospitable,
Yes, yes,
you know,
absolutely kind.
kind and, genuine at heart
Yes,
when it
yes.
comes to day-to-day basic living.
Yes, yes,
you know?
absolutely.
Yeah, so,
There are certain things that we've experienced here that it's like we've never we've never experienced. Not even in my own home country I've experienced like certain hospitable things that people just do without you even thinking
are
or
asking,
asking. It's just
just
in their
natural.
nature to
It's
just
natural.
help you out. Like if you're on the road and somebody sees you in any kind of distress or anything, you're gonna get help even if you don't want to ask. People
Hey,
are gonna
the
say,
simplest
hey,
thing,
like,
the simplest thing as to carry in a bag. As a man
mm-hmm.
now, I don't like to let other people carry bag for me.
Yeah,
But as a man, I'm on the road and people offering to bring my bag for me. Like,
yes,
it's weird. It's weird
yes,
at times. But that is the things that those are things that you can expect while visiting Ghana.
mm-hmm. And then I guess we can add it to number 6, which is they have certain values, right? Because
Yeah.
I not only see this with how they treat like us as diasporans or other diasporans, but this is the way how they are with each other. Like they're very just loving and helpful and kind for the most
Yeah.
part towards each other.
Even if you see them fight, they can go fight and get bad and everything, but it
people,
always
like,
go. When you're over here thinking, yo, this man will pull a knife, or
And
yo,
you're like-
somebody's gonna get stabbed now, somebody's going to the hospital. You just see them start laughing with each other, and then one go this way, one go the other way.
Yes, and they come to some kind of conclusion.
It's
They will yell and say, but then they come to some kind of conclusion of love.
They will
at
stand
the
up,
end of the day.
stand up, even if somebody touch somebody's car, and they will stand up there arguing until everybody come down, crowd come down from everywhere, and they argue for 1 hour, and then at the end of the 1 hour, so this man go his way and the other man go his way, and that's it.
And like you'll always see like an elder or a nice lady saying, "Please don't fight." Like
No,
don't
even
fight.
the young people saying, "Oh, don't mind him, forget."
Yes.
So that's it. The people here, they just take things easy.
Yes, they don't believe in public fighting, and I absolutely love
Violence like
that.
Back
Yeah.
home, I would be thinking, hey, let's get out of here. We don't want to even stand up and watch a fight because we know what comes from it.
Yes,
It's either gunshot start beat or knife pull, people get stabbed, machete, man go in his car for a cutlass, and that's it. Man get chopped up and stuff like that. So
yes,
we used to seeing those things. So we expect to see it here. When we see an argument, we say, oh, we stand back.
yes,
They just, brush off and, carry on
yes,
with life.
yes, which
And
is good.
that is very,
It's very good.
we need to admire stuff like that.
Mhm.
You know.
And last but not least is that Africans do things a certain, they do things a certain way. For the most part,
Definitely.
Ghanaians do things a certain way, and we coming in, we might not agree with it or even have to do it to a certain extent, right? But we have to respect it, at least respect the way how they choose to do certain things. And we have to remember and understand that our ancestors were taken from somewhere off of this land, maybe not necessarily Ghana per se, because we know that like Africa is like really borderless, and colonization came in and even gave the name Africa and all that. We know that, but we have to remember that each country has their own ways of doing things. Each tribe has their own ways of doing things, and from what I see, for the most part, they respect each other. They respect each other at least a lot more than how I think we respect each other in the West.
Yeah, the thing is, everybody think their way is the best. So you coming from the West, you have your way how you do things. And here in Africa, in Ghana, they have their way how they operate and do things. So I don't think it's fair for the Ghanaian to tell a diasporan, hey, this is Africa, this is how you do it.
Exactly.
And a diasporan is not supposed to tell an African that, oh, you don't do it this way, you do it this way. No, yeah, we can teach each other and we can compromise and learn from each other, but you don't tell me this, I've been doing this all my life, and you're gonna come and tell me, oh, that's not the right way to do it. That is not nice.
Yes, it's
You know what I mean? You know, as a matter of fact, that will. I don't want to listen to you now. Then you know.
Yes, because technically, too, let's not forget we're coming back to the
Yeah.
continent, right? So, if anything, we have to more adapt to what we come here and see. Again, you know, you don't have to do every little thing, but with certain things, like with the left hand, like, you know, respect the way how people live and how people do things. You might not
Yeah.
agree with it. It might not be for you to agree or disagree. Actually, you're in Africa.
Yeah, just respect it, because with the left hand thing now, when I go, if I'm in public, I'm now used to, you know, not using my left hand.
Exactly.
But if I'm in my house, I don't care. You know, if I'm around, you know, diasporans, it's fine. You know, but once I'm dealing with fellow Ghanaians, I know how to maneuver my hands. You know, because it's, you find my left hand disrespectful, I will not want. I don't want to disrespect you.
Yes. Why?
You know, so you know, I use my right hand. It's no problem.
Yes.
It become normal to me now.
Mhm.
Okay, so that is 7 things that we think that diasporans need to know about.
Africans.
Okay, so yeah, man. Hope it is very informative to you guys, and
Yes.
hope you guys receive it well.
Yes,
You know
and
what I
if
mean?
there's anything we missed in the
Yeah.
comment section, definitely.
Yeah, man. Drop it in the comments.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You know, and like, share, and subscribe as well.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So big up on yourself. Until next time. Peace.
One love.